I don't know what to do. You're on your own. Anyway, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. I'm Serious JG, and then, yeah, it would appear that the screen does not advance without us, so that's good. It's probably Squall, whose inner thoughts we are privy to at the moment. I feel like I could go off rambling on another 10 minutes about this turn the story's taken, but last video went long because I had like 7.5 minutes of that, so let's just keep going forward and see what's actually next. I mean, I could second guess how various different characters would react, but I think at the end of the day, we know all of them will be a variation on, hey gang, let's throw a bake sale to save the orphanage level of thinking here. They're all going to want to do what is best by Squall and Rinoa, because our group has an unnatural or preternatural level of interest in seeing those two get it on, or get together, I should say. It's not always sexual, JG, come on. This is just another crossroad in my life, but for the first time, I don't know which way to go. That's not true. But it might be the most intense feeling you have had of this in some time. I've come this far because I've fallen for you. Again, this could be Rinoa's thoughts. I think it's supposed to be Squall's. Because Rinoa's kind of, given up to her fate as she perceives it here. Rinoa. Now, am I just supposed to let you go? Yep. Time to start dating Selphie. Maybe you could merge, like you could find sorceress technology to merge Kaitis and Selphie into one female who combines the goofiness. Rinoa has a bit of Selphie's goofiness, but she also has some of Kaitis' sense of responsibility. So if you were somehow to cause them to perform the fusion dance, not only would they have potentially a personality mix kind of similar to Rinoa's, but they would also have an incredibly high power level and could potentially save the world from Majin Buu. Sorceress Rinoa. Hein's descendant. Ooh, that's them's fighting words where I come from. Is he directly descended from Hein, or is that just what they call sorceresses? Come with us. We must seal your power for the sake of the world. Oh, I'm assuming that character model is female. They're all wearing these flowing gowns. She does appear a little shorter. Alright. Thank you for understanding. Tell us when you're ready. What, you mean ready to use my sorcerer's powers to kill you? I should tell you this before I go. I wanted a copy of your ring, so I just kind of stole it. I was possessed out in space. There was a sorceress inside me. Yeah, we got that. I thought she was going to tell her she loved him, but... Ultimacia, a sorceress from the future. She's trying to achieve time compression. Which, actually, yeah. We never find out... Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a spoiler. And I'm not 100% sure it's true, but my recall is we never really get a clear understanding of what Ultimicia's... why she wants to do what she wants. We don't really ever understand her motives. And I read a pretty interesting, if you're a massive geek, fan theory about Ultimicia that maybe we'll discuss later. Drawing some connections between Ultimicia and Rinoa, and even finding some symbolism in some of what happens to you in Act 4, fighting against her, where, Squall gets pulled in. But, it seemed pretty interesting, and apparently, it was interesting enough that it actually got to one of the Final Fantasy VIII writers who was like, that's kind of cool, but no, none of that's actually accurate. Yeah, it's kind of a fan theory that Ultimicia is like a roll-up of all the previous sorceresses, and that the desire to achieve time compression is actually coming from Rinoa, who wanted to just live a perfect moment with Squall into perpetuity. But again, I guess I can throw that as this interesting fan theory that Ultimicia is actually echoing Rinoa's desires in the future, because it's kind of an interesting fan theory, but it we never actually find out what Ultimecia is about, so it's just some fan theory, basically. We never, as I recall, find out why Ultimecia wants to do this, just that if she were to do it, it would be ruinous to life on the planet in general. Not even something as simple as, like, in Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth wants to become a god, which is pretty, kind of lame. Like, you can write a really good high fantasy story where that's the villain's motive if you're going for just, like, bombast and Wagnerian epicness, but, it's... I'm trying to think who's the best Final Fantasy series villain. Because they all kind of have this, I want to be a god, I want to destroy all life thing going on. Like, I liked Seymour, but yeah, ultimately it was like, I want to bring death to all because that will end all suffering. Which essentially means he didn't want to become a god, but yeah, it was, I want to destroy all life. Like, I guess you have to get into like the Final Fantasy Tactics games where you have individual villains who had kind of interesting greed-based motives, but they all ended up getting subjugated by a weird demonic force that pretty much wanted to, kill all humans, whatever. Maybe the coolest RPG villain I can think of off the top of my head is like Breath of Fire 3 version of what's her name? The goddess, because she was just trying to wipe out. Yeah, no, I won't spoil that in case anyone wants to go watch that LP. Yeah, it takes forever before we get to her and even find out she exists. Like 80% of the game is done. They kind of tack on the big villain as a big final thing. But yeah, like she actually had aims that were like, well, I can see how our particular party of heroes would want to fight against her, but it seems like if she were to triumph over our heroes, their personal lot would be bad, but the world would not be wiped out. And she has actual reasons for what she's trying to do. Like, there is a conceivable people in this world who could look at her, that villain, as being in the right. This game is just kind of an ill-explained sorceress from the future who wants to do something that will kill everybody except her. So, she's the only one who would be able to exist in such a world, she and no other. Except possibly her boyfriend. As long as I'm free, she'll continue to use me to accomplish her goal. Well, I mean, you're not free, right? Alright, we can't let that happen, right? I should go now. Kinda wish I'd gotten that hug. I guess I kinda hugged you when I was sitting on your lap. I'm ready. Okay, so she didn't tell him what I thought she might tell him. Alright, read into the sorceress more, and that is probably meant to be a female character model now. I'm thinking. Renoa! Don't go! Thanks, Squall, but I have to go. Ta-ta, Renoa. Dot. Oh, dot. I still have your ring. Oh, and your Letterman jacket. I have that. You keep it. It really was never raised as being a thing until the point in the game where you decided that you wanted it anyway. Although for whatever reason, way early in the game, we named the creature that is on the ring. Maybe that will come up. Maybe it won't. This game has a lot of stuff that just never quite seems to get figured out. You sure? Yeah. Maybe it being frozen in time will make it more valuable when you're eventually thawed out. By some other innocent girl who's been possessed by the sorceress. Man, being a girl is hard. You gotta deal with, the whole, monthly visitor, your Aunt Flo. You gotta deal with, getting paid 70 cents on the dollar for doing the same work as men. And you can, at any point, be possessed by an evil sorceress from the future. I gotta hand it to you, girls. And, women. Ladies. Females. You have a tough road to hoe, and you bear it well, to mix my metaphors. This is what Renoa decided. There's nothing I can do about it, right? I think there probably is, Squall. Probably involves another disc and a half worth of adventuring, and you probably get to permafix this. Just guessing. There is no Final Fantasy VIII-2 where your little sister puts on a more fetishy costume and runs around in time, killing time until Final Fantasy VIII-3, where you come back and actually get to be the hero again. That's not how it worked back at this time. I'm referencing Final Fantasy XIII there, obviously. Even Final Fantasy XIII, as a standalone game, is set up in a way where it appears that you have fixed the world's problems, and then the sequel throws out new problems because somebody decided to keep the series going. But even as a standalone game, that's like a Star Wars, which I guess we're supposed to call New Hope now. It's like, okay, if you never made a sequel, it's just telling a story of a great triumph of good over evil. It feels pretty good. I don't think Final Fantasy VIII is going to have a bummer ending. I mean, hell, even Final Fantasy X is a bummer ending that involves saving the world in exchange for a hot guy that the lead female really liked. Well, I'm going back to space. I can't face it. Whoa, I can actually get back? I can get back into the ship. This is unexpected. Will there still be corpses of those space aliens? No. Oh, the map is a bit different now. Maybe I was not meant to do this. It looked like, yeah, there's actual plot happening. Oh, he's just gonna have a little sit down. Yo, Selphie found him. Selphie, would you mind merging with Kaitis to form into one super female being that might be a replacement for Renoa? Just a random thought. You don't have to commit right now. Woohoo, I'm back! How did you get here? My God, what have I done? It was so bad. The food was terrible. The impact from the landing knocked me out cold. When I woke up, it was just me and Piet. I also had a terrible concussion. I've lost a lot of intelligence. Really? Is that possible? Piet, oh, the guy who escaped with us. What happened to Alone? I'm glad he remembered that she exists. He's been pretty caught up on Renoa recently. Your sister still matters, man. You gotta find some room in there. Sis wasn't there. I hope she's alright. She's not your sister, Selphie. Piet said he'd wait for the rescue crew. I guess they all were raised at the orphanage together, so maybe Selphie now remembers Alone? I found a chocobo, so I went for a run. Then I came up on this ship, and there you were, Squall. I see. Hey, does this ship fly? Does it move? Who knows? You know it flies! Squall. That was so cool when you jumped out in outer space. It made me want to check my boots for dirt. Just like a hero from a storybook. I guess that's her thing she does when she's anxious? I don't know. Hey, where's the heroine? Oh, sorry, my dealer really let us down. I mean, Renoa is ... and I'm thinking that, not saying it. What are the odds? Let me get out of the way so he can be there. Sup, Squall? So glad you're safe, brah. I hate to tell you this now, but we got major problems down here. It turns out Renoa's going to be taken away. Yeah, I knew about that. Well, here it goes. Kaitis probably needs to tell. Some big thing called Lunatic Pandora came out of nowhere. Matron couldn't achieve what she set out to do because of it, which is okay. Matron's not a sorceress anymore. Matron gave away her power to someone without realizing it. To Renoa, which I'm not going to bother to tell any of you. And, well, yeah, the Gobadian military is controlling Lunatic Pandora. Well, now Alone could replace Renoa in our party because she's more reliable. They excavated from the ocean where Estar sank it years ago. Well, that makes sense. Inside Lunatic Pandora, there's this thing called a crystal pillar. Oh, don't we need that to get past the crystal planet's defenses so we can drop the black device, blow it up, stop the ancients from destroying all sentient life? I may be thinking of Starflight, which is not the same as StarCraft. It calls monsters from the moon. I started to want to launch into a Jethro Tull song, but I can't remember the lyric that comes before the mountains of the moon. Then monsters came falling down from the moon. Total panic down here. What have you been up to? It wasn't just monsters that came falling down. Sorceress Adele came down along with the machine that confined her. I guess the stream of falling monsters engulfed the machine. Lunatic Pandora caught Adele from that stream. Dr. Odine thinks that may have been Galbadia's true intent. Meaning... Zell, that's enough for now. But Squall! I know we've got problems. But I can't think right now.
What's wrong, Squall? Have you gradually been turning into me?
Renault is a sorceress now. She received Matron's powers. An escort from Esthar came to pick Renault up. Renault is an Esthar now.
We have to go get her.
Yeah.
Was she taken by force?
No, it was Renault's decision. Weirdly, I decided to respect it. She was scared about being a sorceress. Scared of being feared, hated. Scared that no one would want to be around her. That's pretty much Renault's character, is fear of being alone. She said she couldn't handle that.
Did you try to stop her, Squall?
It was Renault's decision. What right do I have to object? Well, she dropped a lot of hints that maybe...
Oh, stop that. What are you talking about? You know women can't be trusted to make their own decisions. Why did you go all the way out into space to save Renoa? To hand her over to Esthar so that you might never see her again? No, right? Wasn't it because you wanted to be with Renoa?
Why are they all refusing to say the love word? Which is, of course, love gun. Sorry.
You're a fool.
Seriously? A fool, huh? Maybe. Well, it was either maybe or whatever. What am I doing? I may never get to hear Manoa's voice again. I forgot to get a recording of it. What the hell am I doing? What can I do? Of course.
Have you decided?
Heading to Esthar, right? Pandora, whatever, and Sorceress Adele are out of my hands. I don't even know where to look for Sis. The only thing I know is Renoa. Well, you could ask Selphie about Sis. Well, I guess Selphie just got done saying she doesn't know where Sis is. The only thing I want to do for sure right now is for Renoa. We're going to get Renoa back. Actually, you don't get to give us orders anymore. Seed's been disbanded. Can I play cards with you or talk to you at all? Whoa! Ah! Hey.
Excuse me, we're flying?
I hope this ain't the case, but I can picture Selphie in the pilot seat and...
Selphie screaming, woohoo, we're flying.
And standing next to her, a very excited Irvine. His gun is cocked and loaded, if you know what I mean. And that's pretty much exactly what's happening. But I guess not in this screen. Where is this? This is the passenger seat. Oh, I love this music. Which just got muted for some reason. So I know where they actually are, but let's see what the ship looks like now. This is the aisle. We're walking down it like Ric Flair, baby. Ooh. This is the air room. This really doesn't serve a purpose anymore, probably. There may be different NPCs walking around in here later once we've kind of established a crew, if we're going to be doing that. Hangar. I was going to guess cargo deck, but it's hangar. This is also hangar. Yeah, I actually... It's not very long, but I remember really liking this music in the back in the day. This is one of those Final Fantasy tracks that kind of stuck with me over the years. So it's just as is typical of airship music, it's just triumphant and upbeat and fun. I like it. I mean, I know there's not a whole lot of point to this. I'm just wondering if anything I could be missing here. And there's... Yeah, no, we're kind of done. Okay. Is there... No. These are just places I don't know how many NPCs will be riding with us on this by the end of Act 3.
Woohoo, we're flying!
Self is just amazing. Honey, I'm amazed by her. You sure you can fly this?
It just kind of took off. I don't know, it's pretty easy. I think I'll be fine. But there's no guarantees it won't crash.
No one can predict the future, right? Selphie, head for Esthar. She's probably at the Sorcerer Memorial. We're gonna go rescue Renoa. Okay, we got cockpit, forward, back, get on, get off. Change POV. The main thing with this ship is that it is way the fuck faster than... this is the main thing. It's just way faster than the old Balam Garden, which just makes it a lot more convenient if you're just kind of exploring, looking for stuff. Like here, for example, there is a new GF to be gained. I'm tempted to do it in this video, but probably I think we can safely explore the plot enough to get Renoa back. And then, I don't think that's going to take us beyond the point of no return. I think we can get Renoa back, and then, it's like, I'm pretty sure there would be no way to get on this island. Ooh. That's probably what I'm supposed to be going to look at. Abaddon Plains. So, be curious to see if, there's anything, like, special going on with the enemies here. Okay, well, they decided to take my junctions off of... I'll stick with this party, but it seems like they mess with my junctions without my consent. Well, you know, let me save this in case we screw this up completely here. Oh no, we already had a save in the hangar, so that probably wasn't worth the effort. Whatever, it's fine. So, yeah, like, are there cool new enemies that you could fight here? I guess I shouldn't be bothering with this place. It's called Abaddon Plains. I know there's two, like, kind of important isolated islands for level grinding, which we don't care about. Obviously, we've already done all the level grinding. Bombs? Really? Are they really just bombs? Well, bombs can give you meltdown in the late game, which is a super useful spell, but we've long since figured out how to deal with that. Okay, we might have a problem. Okay, we clearly can beat these guys with magic, but now I'm realizing we've kind of set ourselves up so that that's not a good fight for us. But the fact that we're fighting bombs, does not suggest it's an island that's going to have a lot of really cool and interesting things going on. That's a super basic enemy. And I hit the wrong button. We can now fly over these fences, whose purpose I never quite gathered. The ones that are inside, you know, right at the coast, I get, because it's stopping people from landing on their shores, but the ones within the continent, I don't get so much. So we just saved. I mean, I believe flying into Lunatic Pandora is the point of no return for the act, because we go into a act-ending confrontation with the Galbadian forces controlling it. So we don't really want to do that, but I'm curious to see what would happen if we tried. And since I just saved, if it's something bad, then I can... Yeah, nothing really happens. These are different enemies. So we've never fought Iron Giants before in this game. They're an interesting one. They have really high physical defense. So you're generally supposed to be killing them with magic. And there's like a souped up boss version later that will like actually have dialogue to this effect. They're a good source of a few magics that you may not have bothered to stock up on very much, but other than the fact that they got really high physical resist, there's nothing real special going on with them. Hard to damage due to the steel armor. Doesn't use magic, but its sword causes significant damage. Weak against lightning. Oh, which might be what we've already junctioned. It said poison has no effect. Didn't mention being immune to death, so maybe this would be much easier than I realized. Oh. This one might be a good guy to use blind against, as a matter of fact. And nobody has mug equipped. He might be worth mugging. But this is the damage we're doing with characters that are at level 100 and have high-end magic junctioned to physical strength. So you can see this, despite the fact that we're doing thousands of damage, this is a pretty physically damage-resistant kind of enemy. And we're using fire, not lightning. I knew that because we just got done having a battle against bombs that were absorbing all the damage. I probably need to... Oh, Mighty Guard. This is going to make it even worse. I think that even gives him regen in this game. Don't remember. Maybe not. Okay, this is going to take forever. Let's just speed it up here. There we go. So yeah, if you're willing to just use magic and use your mules to stockpile more of it, it's not a bad fight. But I don't think we fought those before, so there's definitely new, more interesting enemies popping up now. Which makes sense, considering enemies just fell from the moon en masse. Ah, you guys. I am going to want to find and encounter these guys later. Meteor? Fuck. Yeah, I'm going to want to actually encounter Turtopods later. Yeah, Meteor's powerful magic, but we have ludicrously high magic resist now. But Turtopods are an example of an enemy where if you use the right techniques, you can make it so that they never attack you. They're really not threatening at all anyway. But it's a thing you can exploit once you've got the Angelo item seek commands, where, like, just letting the battle go for hours and hours and hours without doing any command inputs, it will gradually trigger and give you free items, becomes useful. So at this point, what am I really doing? I'm just checking to see what happens if you try to short-circuit the plot. And I have a feeling we will get to the end of Tyr's Point and there just won't be anything we can do and we just gotta back out, and that's fine. That is what we will do if that is what we must do. In fact, let's cut off encounters to make this go a little faster. Yeah, there's nothing here. Is it worth going to Esthar to see if we can talk to Dr. Odine? That's not what the story told us to go, so we probably will find that, like, none of the plot-type places have any NPCs of note in them. That's usually the way they deal with that problem. Just like, yeah, let the player go there. Just once they go there, nothing's happening. I would expect there's nothing going on here anymore, but let's pop in and see. Oh, it's probably even closed down now. Oh no, we can still go in. Oh, Lunar Gate, it serves no purpose anymore.
Glad to see you're alright. That was some crazy disaster in space. I barely escaped. Luckily, they found me. You must have authorization into this area.
Okay, never mind. You really can't do anything here.
You're not authorized to enter because, you know, you kind of fucked everything up for us. You brought your girlfriend in and she unleashed Sorceress Adele, so we're kind of a little cheesed with you right now.
They're entrepreneurs in the cheese business. Okay, I have no doubt that nothing is happening here, but what the hell? This guy makes me feel depressed. I miss the blue sky. The blue sky makes me excited. Hack, hack, hack. Oh, stop teasing me. Ha ha ha. Apparently, they don't care about sky colors. What was this place there to study anyway? Maybe this guy will jog my memory. Still standing there, but they don't do anything else in there now. The research subject moves elsewhere. I guess they get on with it. They have a get on with it adventure. I'm not even going to go down there. I know it'll just be that same room with what looks like a door, but isn't really something you get to interact with. Forget it. Come on, Ragnarok. How do I keep misplacing you? Okay. Okay, so this is actually not a bad spot from which to enter, because it's a relatively straightforward... You have to get to a specific point to actually enter the city, and from here it's not that complicated. So the city is all going to be different now. People panicking.
Where's the lifter? When is it coming?
Ah, that's right. We have to, like, manually go everywhere now. In fact, I think there might be monster encounters now. So we kind of need to use a little Karaga. Oh, and they quietly snuck a matron out of our party. I didn't notice when that happened, but I'm glad I got all of our stuff off of her. See at 100 after that, though? Yes, he is. Okay. Hi, I'm Bozo. It's over. Yeah, so we got random monster encounters here now. So I'm going to shut off encounters because I don't really feel like wasting time with them right now. We're just here. Ah. There's a guy down there that we want to talk to. See if I can figure out how to get to him. I'd like to show this off on screen, because I think that's what some of my off-screening is going to turn into. Oh, he's just nuts. Well, here's the Odon laboratory. We'll check this out. I'm sorry this video is going long, but we can't handle it. It's endless. Let's go to the laboratory. See if we can talk him into releasing Renoa peacefully so we don't have to murder everyone. Well, he is here. Monsters? They are not here. This chaos is wonderful. More research subjects for my work. Okay, he is not apparently the guy we need to talk to. Doctor? The doctor seems happiest during times of crisis. It's quite disturbing. Interesting. Are you actually doing something now, or is it just... No. Never mind. That was a false alarm. I thought maybe something was advancing. Glad this one's working, because otherwise we'd have no way to reach them, and they'd have no way to get out of there. like, you know, making a crude rope ladder out of their clothes to get down from... Oh, I feel bad. We should talk to this guy. He's obviously in a bad way. Some of the sealed it to keep the monsters out, but I'm still a panicky loser, like most RPG guards. It's too risky, especially for forcing the combat. No, I wasn't trying to go in there. I was trying to go here. Yeah, this is a screen we want to remember. Hee ha ha hee hee. It is an automatic encounter with an enemy that I don't think we've come across before. It's a reskin of a previous boss, so nothing that exciting. But let's check him out anyway. He is a prominent feature in all guides on how to min-max the game. It's this particular encounter. This is an Elnoil, a powerful monster. He uses magic, but also uses Tail Needle, which causes heavy damage. So the special thing against this guy is that he's got a lot of hit points. His main thing is that he does a counterattack to all your physical attacks. So he deals a lot of... It's one of those things where it's just a pain in the butt. It's an automatic counter ability. So you got to be able to tank it. But he's not immune to death. And that's a big deal. Because the reason you want to fight this guy is his item drops. Energy crystals. And I think that might be his common drop, and his rare drop is an even more valuable item. But we need energy crystals for a couple of things. I believe we can refine... We may be able to refine that into ammo, if I'm remembering right. Oh, apparently we had some energy crystals previously, so... You refine into pulse ammo, which is the only ammo that we're not pretty much maxed out on already, because it's the rarest ammo in the game. You can only get it through refining this item, as I understand. Maybe there's a couple of other ways to get it, I suppose. I think it might be used in some other potions too. Energy crystals and tool magic, maybe Ultima stones. Yeah, so you can use it to get Ultima stones. You can, which eventually you'll be able to convert into the Ultima spell. And the main thing is you use it for certain items, and you use it for the Ultima spell, and I think you also use it to upgrade items for GFs, although I was just in the formula that should let you do that, and it wasn't doing it. But yeah, that's really valuable, and it also, I think, drops other valuable items as well. It's just really high-end items that you can't get any other way than fighting that monster. Or that it's by far the fastest way to accumulate. And that battle is repeatable. If I return to that screen, that guy will be back. Come on, you want some of this? Yes, I do, in fact. I'm dead. Game over, man. Nothing's getting by. Guaranteed victory. Ooh, yeah. So we'll just confirm that we can't advance the story here, and we gotta go to... This is durable. We gotta go to the place they told us to go to. We're doing all that we can, which isn't much. Unless the president is here, in which case the plot will advance. Entry not permitted. Get the F out. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. If we were to advance the plot a bit, I could get Renoa back. But I mentioned I'm looking for a point at which to do some off-screening, and that battle I showed you is one of the main things I need to do. There's other side quests that I want to do that I really should do with you guys watching. Like, I give anyone who's not interested in seeing them full permission to skip the Queen of Cards side quest, which will allow me to finish my card deck. I will attempt to label those videos in a way where it's clear when those videos are, and you can avoid them if you want to just jump back in with the story. You don't even have to tell me you're doing it. What did it say? Bunch of idiots? They're sending ducks inside these passageways. Yeah, you don't have to tell me you're doing it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about making me feel bad that you're skipping those videos if you don't mention in the comments, I'm skipping these videos because they suck. Thanks, JG. I mean, it's all good. Just don't watch them and jump back in when we're done. But for anyone who is interested, I will do the Queen of Cards side quests on screen fairly shortly. Probably, I think I will wait till we have Renoa back in the party. Oh, spoilers, we get Renoa back. Shocking, I know. But yeah, I can now fight that monster, which is something I need to be doing in my off-screening, and I think I will do that. So the next time you see me, I suppose I could put it off till I have other GFs. Nah, whatever. I'll do a few fights. Enough to get the ultimate weapons ready to go, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.